once heard people say, wild boars are devastating, but I've never seen it myself. That was true, until I went back to visit my grandmother and found the whole village losing sleep, not because of anything else, but because every morning the cornfields looked as if a machine had plowed through them. Sweet potato rows ripped from the soil, irrigation pipes destroyed, the damage repeated night after night, like a calendar that needed no appointment. That evening, I met the local control team. They weren't doing this casually. They worked as if they were safeguarding the rhythm of an entire region. I asked to follow them for a week to truly understand. When wild boars spiral out of control, the solution isn't reaction, it's strategy. The whole village was silent, but the camera screens were still running. The footage was enough to make anyone's heart jolt. At first, just a few. A few minutes later, the entire herd had gathered near the cultivated fields. They moved in order, in formation, with a clear lead animal at the front. Watching it sent a chill down my spine. They looked more like a disciplined raid unit than wild animals. It was a sign the system had lost control. And the strangest part, that night, they did nothing. I thought they were hesitating, but that was the first lesson I learned. Don't react too quickly, because if you rush, the whole herd will change its route immediately. The next morning, they reopened the camera footage to read the herd, the time of appearance, direction of movement, the spot where they lingered longest, the lead animal, and the number of individuals. Once they confirmed the confidence point, where the herd moved in and out consistently and with the least caution, only then did they set up the trap. They chose a corral trap. The frame was positioned precisely, strong enough to withstand force, and most importantly, wide enough to contain the entire herd, avoiding partial captures that would make the remaining animals wary and change their route. But what stood out to me most was this. Even after setting the trap, they didn't trigger it right away. The gate remained open. Bait was placed deep inside. The herd was allowed to move in and out naturally for several nights, so they would get used to the rhythm. This spot is safe, and there's food here every night. The cameras kept rolling. That night, the fourth night of their plan, and the one I remember most clearly on the screen, the herd appeared along their usual path. A smaller group followed the lead animal in first, then the rest came after. They ate naturally, without the slightest suspicion, and when the last one was fully inside, the trap was triggered. The atmosphere inside the enclosure turned chaotic in an instant. Hooves pounding, snorts echoing, the entire corral shaking violently. The herd circled frantically, searching for an escape, but there was none. We sat quietly, watching through the camera. No one cheered, because everyone understood. This was the result of many nights of patience, not a stroke of luck. Throughout that week, I heard them repeat one sentence again and again. Handling one night doesn't mean it's finished. There are always larger, stubborn individuals that cause severe damage, often the lead animal or splinter groups. The team never acted emotionally. They monitored with purpose, responded with a plan, reducing risk for the entire area, not just a single field. What surprised me most was the regional coordination. Other villages shared data, which direction the herd moved, what time they appeared, which nights they changed route. Updates were passed along immediately, because if only one household takes action, the displaced herd simply runs to the neighbor's land. Area-wide management is what truly keeps the situation stable in the long term. After a week, I sat beside my grandmother on the porch. The insects were still singing. It was still night, but the quiet felt different. Not quiet because the problem was gone. Quiet because we now understood it. In a moment of watching the recorded hunting footage with the team on the latest iPhone, I no longer saw a wild boar trap as something you set and forget. I saw it as part of an order, guided by data, shaped by procedure, and executed decisively yet responsibly. I returned from visiting my grandmother with a thought that lingered for a long time. They're not just protecting crops. They are protecting the peace of an entire region. Like and share to join me in managing wild wildlife, the fierce wild boars, in episode 3 coming up next.
In a very short amount of time, sometimes in just a single night, a sounder of wild boar can destroy farmland that took months of human labor to build. That speed of destruction raises a critical question for environmental and agricultural managers alike. How can we intervene quickly and effectively while still maintaining natural balance? At first glance, the pig brig net trap may look like just a piece of netting. In reality, it is a carefully engineered system designed to control entire sounders safely and responsibly, rather than relying on extreme measures. Steel stakes are driven into the ground at calculated angles to form a load-bearing frame. Heavy-duty clamps and high-tensile straps keep the structure stable. The specialized outdoor netting is spread evenly, durable enough to withstand impact, yet flexible enough to absorb force. Finally, the bottom edge of the net is anchored deep into the soil to prevent shifting when the boar react. Effectiveness doesn't come from brute force. It comes from correct design, proper placement, and precise timing. In areas with large trees, installers often use sturdy trunks as natural anchor points. This approach reduces the amount of material that must be transported and blends better into dense forest terrain, minimizing unnecessary disturbance to the surrounding environment. For farmers, this isn't just a technical solution, it's a way to protect months of hard work with just a few hours of careful setup. Once installation is complete, the system is not activated immediately. The net is suspended high, leaving open space for animals to move in and out naturally. Bait is placed deep in the center to encourage them to enter fully. The goal at this stage is familiarity. As the animals encounter the net while feeding, their initial caution gradually fades. This acclimation period typically lasts 2 to 3 days and plays a crucial role in reducing stress, allowing the entire sounder to perceive the area as safe.
Look at it.
Once the animals are comfortable with the site, the net is lowered until it touches the ground. To reach the bait, they must push lightly against the net to enter. However, due to the system's unique design, once inside, they cannot push their way back out. This one-way mechanism is the key to the trap's success. You can clearly see how the net reacts under pressure. Unlike rigid steel cage traps, the soft net absorbs impact extremely well. When a boar charges, the net flexes and redirects the animal back toward the center instead of bending or breaking. This is one of the system's greatest strengths, and why it is widely regarded as both safer and more humane. Managing wild boar populations at scale is critical for environmental stability. This species reproduces rapidly and can easily disrupt ecological balance. In Florida alone, wild boar populations are estimated to exceed 500,000 animals, causing widespread damage to farmland and native species. A single sow can produce multiple litters per year, making control especially challenging. The effectiveness of this system is not measured only by numbers captured. It is reflected in reduced crop damage and lower environmental pressure. This approach offers a practical way to rebalance ecosystems that are under threat from unchecked population growth.
Well, give a few feet. That's a big effort.
Only like 180 pounds or so, but he is definitely not a bad buddy. Hey, buddy.
2, 3, 4, 5 bigger hogs. Hey, I'm not for sure.
Rising tension when wild boars force urgent action. On an ordinary afternoon in a quiet suburban neighborhood in the United States, the calm was suddenly shattered. Screams rang out from a small hair salon. Customers panicked and ran for their lives. Mirrors smashed, chairs flipped. And right there, in the middle of the room, stood a fully grown wild boar, weighing hundreds of pounds, terrified, out of control. This was not a movie scene. This was one of many real-life incidents recorded as wildlife, especially wild hogs, pushed deeper into human living spaces. Wild boars are nothing like domestic pigs. A full-grown boar can weigh anywhere from 200 to over 300 pounds. They're fast, highly reactive, and armed with razor-sharp tusks capable of inflicting serious injuries. When panicked or cornered, they can become extremely dangerous. Beyond the direct threat to human safety, wild hogs destroy crops, cause traffic accidents, and carry diseases that can spread to livestock and pets. even more alarming is their reproduction rate. In a very short time, just a few individuals can explode into a full-blown sounder if left unmanaged. In the past, trapping or removing hogs one at a time was considered a solution. But with today's population size and breeding speed, those methods are proving increasingly ineffective. Wildlife management experts warn that removing only a few hogs often makes the remaining sounder more alert, while the overall population continues to grow. That's why planned, sounder-based management strategies are now being adopted. In many regions, modern trapping systems combined with remote camera monitoring are showing clear results. These systems allow operators to monitor hog activity in real time. Trigger traps only when the entire sounder is inside. Reduce risk to people. Minimize chaos and unnecessary stress. In Texas, one of the hardest hit states, entire sounders have been captured in a single operation, breaking the reproductive cycle before it can restart. Many landowners and wildlife specialists agree. When done correctly, wild hog control does not require reckless or dangerous measures. Boarbuster is one of the systems used across the US as a sounder management solution. The system is built on key principles: open traps that don't alarm hogs at first, remote activation once the full group enters, continuous camera monitoring, maximum safety for surrounding people. This point matters most. Wild hog control is not about sport hunting or violence. It's about protecting people, property, and ecological balance. No one wants animals to suffer, but when a species grows beyond control and becomes a direct threat to communities, doing nothing can lead to far greater consequences. This is no longer just a problem for remote ranches. It's happening in neighborhoods, backyard fences, and places where children play. Without proper management strategies, wild hog numbers in the US will continue to rise, bringing greater risks to both people and the environment. Yet, there is hope. When communities understand the issue, when local authorities and residents work together, and when technology is used responsibly, real progress can be made. After trapping, transport is considered the most critical phase of wild hog management. Every step is carried out carefully and in an orderly manner, with stress and injury risks kept to an absolute minimum. Each hog is guided into reinforced transport crates designed for maximum safety. Every movement is planned, deliberate, and calm, avoiding panic and injury. This is not simply about moving wild hogs. It's a lesson in how humans can manage and coexist responsibly with wildlife. From sudden suburban encounters to responsible management efforts in states like Texas, one message becomes clear. Wild hog management is no longer optional. It is essential for community safety. The actions we take today will determine how safe our environment is tomorrow.